Andrew McCART, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. I'm here with the one and only, probably the most stylish man, coolest man in boxing at this moment in time, Spencer Fearon.
I've always been this way. It's nothing new. As you saw, I'm just being real. Babatunde Ajayi, my brother from another mother, posted something of 12 years ago when I was on Satanta Sports. Before I was at Sky, I was at Satanta Sports before they went bust. Satanta Sports, and I was still sharp. So I've always been sharp.
Always been sharp, always been sharp.
It's the Windrush generation. So, yeah, I mean, I'm first generation West Indian, Jamaican. So my father would always tell you to dress a certain way, and look a certain way, and it reverberated. So there was a reverberation throughout it. Look how Chris Eubank Senior would dress. So, and he's of that generation as well. So that's how we roll.
You're not quite on par with Chris Senior yet, I don't think, are you?
He's right, Chris Senior. All right. You know what? I don't wear winkle pickers, but Eubank's my guy still, so I have to big him up. Yeah, because when we do things, we do. We have to.
Actually, I never knew you could do a Chris Eubank impression. That is a one-off. Let's talk about your first MTK fight night this year. I wasn't disappointed. Great fights up and down the card. What are your thoughts?
It was an absolutely fantastic card, right? Some standout fights there. We have to give a lot of credit, right? Tetley and Antwi was such a good fight, and I feel bad for Tetley because he showed us that he weren't no teabag, that he was a very, very strong bitter, right? But he's going to be left bitter because I don't think the fight should have been stopped. There's no disrespect to the referee, Michael Alexander, former pro. It was a hard shot that he got caught with, but he was taking the head shots. It was a body shots that he wasn't comfortable with. But you know what? Fair play to Antwi. Samuel Antwi is now, English champ, and he's going to be a handful for anybody out there. And if you look at in the world, the welterweight division is very hot, but in the UK, it's firing. Josh Kelly. Hopefully, he gets through his win tomorrow, which I believe that he will. I got him winning stoppage round about 8 or 9. That's how I got that fight. But Josh Kelly, Conor Benn, who to me is most probably the best welterweight in the world after his last win. Not in the world, sorry, in Great Britain. Soon to be the world, but I'm saying in Great Britain. Josh Kelly, Conor Benn. Someone who's gone really under the radar has been Michael McKinson, yeah. Right? Chris Congo, he's fighting Chris Congo. That's going to be an excellent fight, right? And the fight is right. But me and Babatunde Ajayi had them two on our show, and we had Lee Eaton. So tell Michael Ballinger, but what's his name? Was McKinson's dad? Tell him I want my money, man. I want 10%, right? Tell him to send it to the fighters, right? I'm sending some guys from South London for you. Nah, there's him. It's just a very, very lively, exuberant weight division right now in the UK, and all we got to do now is just sit back and let's see the fights happen. And what we realise now, because of lockdown, fights where good guys have to fight good guys now. So it's going to happen, man. So it's great.
We've seen it with the main event there with Gavin Gwynn, who's to your right, to my left, and Sean McComb.
Gavin Gwynn, we have to props that guy. Just relentless. I don't know how he does lightweight. He's massive. Yeah, he's big. Right, he's a big guy. He likes to fight, and he's very old school. How he throws his shots. When he's up close, he'll whack the body and whack the head off with the right hand. I like the kid a lot. But you know what I mean. No disrespect to McComb. McComb, he'll come again. You know what I mean, he'll come again. But I didn't like the fact when the fight was announced and his trainer Danny Vaughan weren't in the corner, and I know. And there's no disrespect to the other guys in there. Derry Matthews is a fantastic fighter and trainer, but he's not the main coach for him. So when I saw that, I was like, ooh. I was a little bit worried, and so said, so done. But that was such a fight. You know what I mean? Blood, sweat, and tears were given in that fight by both men. But you know what I mean? But fair play to Gwynn, he came out on top, man.
Definitely. Great fight card. Like I said, up and down tonight. But another fight that's happening tonight, Berchelt versus Oscar Valdez. Later on tomorrow night, that is. Sorry, tomorrow night in Las Vegas. You spoke about Josh Kelly. You think he's going to win. Yep. So I want to just come straight over to Vegas for the Valdez-Berchelt fight. Two strong Mexicans fighting each other, the volume punching. It's going to be a cracking fight. Your thoughts?
My thoughts. It is. It's you know what? Both come forward as well. both throw very good body attacks, but Beltret for me is the guy that I'm tipping to win this fight. I mean, I was speaking to, there's a little young prospect, amateur prospect right now, Sugar Shy, and me and him was debating about this, and I was saying like I'm favouring that. I've seen Valdez quite a few times. I rate him, but there's something like it's slightly missing there. It's a great fight, and that's why I'm going for Beltret to win this fight.
A lot of people went for Oscar Valdez. I've been speaking to at the hotel just because obviously the Canelo team connection and stuff like that. The people are starting to think that this Canelo team might be unbeatable with Martinez and Oscar Valdez and Ryan Garcia and obviously Canelo. Do you think the same? No, obviously not.
No, I don't actually. Seriously, I don't. You're not saying that Canelo's got a very, very good trainer, right? But no, I don't. I'm not rolling with that. I'm sorry.
I know. Well, Canelo is fighting next weekend. I'm lucky enough to go out there. So yeah, I'm lucky enough to go out there. Yeah. Lucky me. He's fighting Yildirim, a fighter that Chris Eubanks already fought and beat. So obviously,
I have no interest in that fight.
No.
I'm just going to be real. Canelo is a massive mega star. You're fighting Yildirim. We know what Chris Eubanks Jr. done to Yildirim, was that 2 years ago now, right? That was a vicious beating that he gave him, right? Was it World Series? Right, in the World Boxing Super Series. So I have no real interest in that fight. Bar the fact that it's Canelo, you're just going to watch because it's Canelo, right? But I'd have preferred seeing Canelo win with a Billy Joe Saunders, which is muted to be after this fight, or to be in with,
Benavidez or something?
No, not even Benavidez. Sorry, my apologies. Not even Benavidez. I'm saying Charlo. I think Charlo could pop with him. Someone like that. This fight here, you're taking liberties. Right, I'm just being real. You're taking liberties because you're a superstar. So we want to see you with a superstar. Could you imagine if Floyd Mayweather fought someone like Yildirim? Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, everyone said, "Oh, Floyd Mayweather cherry picked." Not like that, you never. Do you know what I mean? And everyone said that Floyd Mayweather cherry picked, but I'm sorry, that don't cut it for me.
Well, you mentioned Billy Joe Saunders is muted for May this year. So that is a fight. That is a good fight. It's an excellent fight, and some people giving Billy a chance. If it be a small chance against something like Canelo, but it's still a chance with the way he fights, the southpaw stance, and obviously the slick back foot fighting. Do you give Billy a chance?
Absolutely, I give Billy Joe Saunders a chance because Billy Joe, he's a traveller, and they don't adhere to rules. I don't think you realise that, yeah? You know what I mean? Travellers they don't understand this thing of the Matrix. There is no spoon. They know this. I'm telling you this now. That's how they don't care. You know what I mean? Seriously, right? Are you traveling as well?
No, not really. But
okay, right. But I'm just trying to say don't underestimate Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders, if his mind's right and he's in proper condition, he's going to give Canelo trouble. There's two things that Mexican fighters historically don't deal with, right? They don't deal with speed very well, and they don't do movers very well. If you look at Canelo, he's coming in the ring with wrapped up knees and stuff wrapped up of like Allard Michael Spinks, meaning that your movement you're not as quick as what you are. But if he tees off on you, he tees off on you, right? And he's a very, very clever guy. But I'm telling you, Billy Joe style, not saying he's gonna win, but style is all wrong for Canelo. We've seen the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, Julio Cesar Chavez, struggled with speed. What was that? March 17th or 16th, March 17th, 1990, when he fought Meldrick Taylor, who was the IBF champion at the time. It was and he was the WBC champion when they fought, and he got stopped 2 seconds before the end of the last round. But they don't handle speed too well, and this is something predominant because they like to set themselves to tee off their shots. And Canelo has come from that mold, and when we've seen Canelo in with boxers, right, it's been a little bit debatable. Austin Trout, a little bit debatable, you know, just trying to say, right? So when he goes in with those type of guys of fighters, Idelanje Lara, when he's in with those guys who are movers, and remember, Billy's a very good southpaw. No one's figured him out yet to beat him yet, right? But Billy Joe has to be 1,000,000% on it, because if he's not, he's going to come a cropper and he's going to get caught, and we don't know what could happen. But Billy on his game, he could give anybody nightmares, including Canelo.
You said keep this at 10 minutes. I think we're on a 10-minute marker now. But however, there is food back at the hotel, so I know you like your food, being that you're of Jamaican descent, and so you like your grub. So let's go back and get some. However, I do want to get your point on this.
Not from English people, I know. Anyway,
well, I seen an interview Umar done with Eddie Hearn today, something along the lines of. Deontay Wilder made comments about still wanting to fight Anthony Joshua. Now we know everything about that sort of fight, but before the Ruiz fight, that the 50 million here and the 50 million there, blah blah. I don't want to go into that, but your thoughts on Deontay Wilder still wanting to fight Anthony Joshua?
I think it's good because Deontay Wilder is still one of the best heavyweights in the world, right? So why should if Deontay Wilder said he didn't want to fight Anthony Joshua, then I have my reservations. You're still one of the best fighters in the world, regardless of what happened in the Tyson Fury fight. You're still one of the best fighters in the world. You are the hardest puncher in the world. Don't get twisted over that. He's the hardest puncher. Technically, no, right? But as a puncher, right. Could you imagine if someone was to sit down with Deontay Wilder now, sneakily, he's behind closed doors, and they're teaching the guy technique? He'd be a danger for anybody. Let's just be real. So obviously, you got to sit down and say, yeah, I'd want to fight Anthony Joshua. I still want my rematch with Tyson Fury. I want to fight all the rest of the guys who are up there, or the other top level fighters, right? You'd want to fight them, but the guys ain't big enough to generate the money that he'd be expected to go and receive. So yeah, call out Anthony Joshua. I'm not going to knock him for that. I think well done for calling out Anthony Joshua instead of making ludicrous claims against anybody who thinks differently to what you are, or anyone who was previously working with you. But that's another story for another day. But I'm saying, you know what? Fair play to Deontay Wilder for calling out Anthony Joshua.
Definitely. I won't keep you much longer. Like I say, there is food back at the hotel, but we're coming up to midnight now. Normally, I know it's Coogan and Raz I normally get you, so I do appreciate some time with you. So it's good.
Man, listen, remember, you're my guy, because you have to remember, I got the Scottish link up with you. That's the real. And not only that, but Raz and Coogan can't dance like you. I see you do that.
You see my moves?
No, listen, no one can handle you. You are the. Trust me, you're
bad for a white guy, right?
Listen, what do you mean bad? Let me tell you this. You have to dispel that myth, right? That white guys can't dance, because that's nonsense, right? Because I grew up with Michael Flackley, and was it the River Dance? Right. So come on, man. You guys got rhythm as well, man. It's a different, new world now. You know what I mean?
Spencer, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
I'm gonna be real with you. Me for a person of color, I can't dance at all. I'm the worst dancer. You know what I mean? It was like God gave my dancing technique to some white person, right? Like,
me?
Yeah, most probably, but he gave me your credit, all right?
We'll end it there. Thanks, Spencer.